This is a video on how to save gas miles for when you have to go through long distances and you are trying to conserve your miles. Now this is miles that you get, I'm talking about the miles on the left side there, because those miles are the miles that tell you when you should be refilling. Now the regular miles that counts your trip, which is here, so 5,379, those miles you can't mess with, right? Because they just calculate. But these miles right here, these miles you can mess with. So I am currently going to Philadelphia. Philly is about, I want to say 52 miles away. The location that I'm going to is 52 miles away from our current destination. So I actually started out with 493. I don't know if the camera caught that yet, but it started off with 493 miles. So I'm going to show you how to get there in less than 52 miles. And the way I'm going to prove that to you is we're going to compare it against this number right here. The number that is, where did it go? 5,380. Well, before we said that it was 79, so we can remember that number. So we're just gonna compare it. So for that number, for the 5,000 number, it's gonna be 80 more. It's gonna be 52 miles more because of our destination. But here, well, I can't predict what the number is going to be, but let's just say it's gonna be less than 52 miles. So I'm gonna pause this video and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that once I get to the Turnpike, because the best way to kind of do this is like when you're driving on high speed for long distances and you're not like constantly stopping and starting. So just to give you a quick recap, so when I let go of my pedal, so right now I am not hitting the gas or the brake. Oops. You see that blue thing is all the way where the 90 is. That is how it saves you gas when you're in that 90. And when you pick up speed, when you're right where it says 26.3, you're kind of driving in regular mode. It still is going to save you something, but when it saves you the most when you're in that 90, or anywhere in between really. But obviously 90 is the highest, so that's how you're going to really save gas. So the way it works is on a highway, when you're driving on high speeds, you're basically just kind of maintaining that speed, right? So when you drive, let's say you're not in a rush, you're not trying to drive and you were crazy, you're just trying to drive to save gas, right? You're just trying to do an experiment like I did several days ago. So the way you do this is you pick a speed. So the Turnpike speed is 70. I like to drive 80, but you know, that's a different story. So you're gonna pick up your speed, right? You're gonna go past that 26.8, right? Once you're past that 26.3, right? At the bottom there, right next to zero on the right side, you're basically not saving gas anymore, right? It doesn't matter if you're in Eco Pro mode, because that once you're like accelerating that high, it doesn't matter. Now, right now, I'm saving gas, right? I'm on a hill. That's something you're gonna learn with saving gas. The hills, the up highs, because the hills is where you see, I'm just rolling in 90. And then you see where it says plus 0.4, that's how much gas you're saving. Now, I don't know how like accurate that is, because I've saved way more. So I'm not sure how accurate that is. I've saved way more based on the number on the left on when I should go to the gas station. So once you're in 26.3 or you're accelerating up, you're not saving any gas. So right now I'm not, but once I let go and I level the surface, I am. You want to keep it anywhere in between. So even when I pick up speed, you see that? I'm still saving gas, but I'm not picking up speed crazy, right? I'm in Eco Pro mode. This is not the sport, because I got the sport option too, and let me tell you, there's a huge difference. So your car is gonna feel like it can barely move in Eco Pro mode, especially when you're in the hill. So your little lever there is gonna go way past 26.3. You see that? It's technically still saving, So the point is when you're driving on high speeds, you want to pick a speed and maintain that speed. You can maintain your speed without, you know, hitting like this. You could just maintain it by, you know, kind of picking up your, stepping on your gas just very slightly, occasionally, and just, you know, consistently. That's how you save gas. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my odometer actually went from 488 to 491. Now, I apologize because I'm actually holding the phone with my hands because I'm not fancy yet, so I don't have anything that kind of holds this steady, so I do apologize. But this number right here actually went from 493, then it went to 488, and now it's at 491. So technically I only wasted 2 miles of gas, right? Now, I know some of you are gonna think, well, it's not really accurate. It goes based on your speed. It goes based on how you're driving at the current moment. That is correct. However, it is true because I was driving to this location every single day this week. And I was also driving to other places, not as much miles, but I was able to drive the full 400 basically in 50 miles because I re-upped my gas to like 30 miles left. So it's pretty accurate versus when I'm in comfort. Now, comfort just overuses gas because the comfort mode right here, it overuses the gas. So for example, we could be going, let's say 10 miles and it'll use 20 because the AC is running, you're driving crazy, it's picking up speed faster, it's stopping faster. You know, this is a more conservative. Basically, you're getting your miles worth in this mode. So if you're not in a rush, then by all means do that. Now, if you are in a rush, because honestly, I'm always in a rush. I just did this experiment just to see. I always stay in comfort, and you know, occasionally I'll go to sport. When people want to fight with me, I'll go to sport. Not fight with me, but you know, throw it down in the car. I'll go in sport mode, but other than that, comfort, I always stay in comfort. But you know, I'm really feeling, here's the thing, if I'm in driving distances where I'm driving very far, then I'm gonna put eco mode because it just makes more sense, you know? Once I'm at 80 miles, all I gotta do is maintain it. I'm not racing anybody. I am just I'm minding my own business. Now, if you're in a rush, you're late for work, what is this guy doing? Let's go. Then that's a different story. You're welcome, buddy. Also, be a good driver. Okay, it's my turn. I hate when people give me the look where like, oh, go ahead. Like, it's my right of way. Thank you, sir. I am gonna go. Whatever. Anyways, we will resume this on the Turnpike. Okay guys, so I'm on the Turnpike now. So I'm driving a little below 80. I can pick up the speed to 80. I was just on a hill, so I kind of let go, so it dropped my speed. Alright, so let me go up a little bit. Now mind you, yeah. Now mind you, I hope that thing goes away, because otherwise I need to show you that lever. But mind you, I didn't start recording as soon as I went into the Turnpike. So it's 486 and we were at 491, 4 miles. I've driven more than 4 miles at this point. So you can't see, oh there you go. You can't see it, but right now we're kind of on the hill, on a little slope. So I'm not picking up any speed. Now I am. So you want to stay above the 26.3. Mind you, I'm always driving. I'm not driving slow. Well, I am driving slow compared to other people, but I'm not driving anything that's like below the speed limit. I'm driving well above 70, that's what it is on the Turnpike here. I'm going around the trucks. The key to this is having slopes and just not pressing the acceleration as hard. So for some people, they're like, F this. You know what I mean? I gotta turn off that speed warning because I'm the one that sets it. Because you know when I drive 80, I'm going off. Because only on the Turnpike do I drive more. Anywhere else it's like, ooh. Okay, you guys see how the, right now I'm on a hill, you can't see it, and I wish that thing wasn't there, so that way I could show you that right now we're going the full 90. And another thing that you can work into your advantage, see, this is gonna be like the positives of life, is when there's congestion, and I'm gonna use the word congestion, not the word traffic, because you don't want to constantly stop. You want to keep moving, but you want to be moving slow. That works into your advantage as well, because when everybody's driving slow, you don't need to be driving on a high speed. You kind of could just let the car cruise for a while. I know some people were asking if cruising can help you save gas. It definitely can. However, I like to be in control. And so there are times where I feel like with the cruising, I could decrease my speed and let it flow for a little bit. And I can't do that on cruise unless I, you know, cut it off and I press the brake. So it's like constantly setting it and then doing it. So for me, I'd rather just be in control, and especially when there's a lot of hills and slopes. It's great for hills, but not for slopes, because you're still, I just prefer to be in control. So let's just put it that way. So there's a little bit of congestion up, so my speed is going down. But as you can see, if you pay attention to the numbers over here, at the bottom left, 489, we actually went up in miles, because I am constantly trying to put the car below that 26.4, and so that's what's helping it. So it's just when it's just a little bit lower than 26.4, it's gonna take longer for it to adjust your miles and things like that. So when it's at 90, you kind of see that right away. But I'm also going to show you guys how that changes all when you're on a local road. Once you get into the city, all those miles that I'm going to save right now on the Turnpike, which is about 33 miles on the Turnpike, it's going to go to shit. Because when you're constantly stopping, there's traffic lights, there's traffic, you know, you kind of have to adjust, and the miles don't like that. They like to be on constant speed, they like to be in eco mode, you know, and that's hard to do when you're driving. Otherwise you're going to be driving like the slowest turtle in the world, and I complained about those drivers, so I'm not going to be one of those drivers. Also, I mean, this applies to any car, you know, any car that has eco mode, but specifically I'm driving a 2019 BMW X3. So for all my Beamy lovers, I call it a Beamy, who have the Eco Pro mod option, you can do this as well. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely a headache, because you kind of, but it gives you something to do while you're driving, because you're kind of constantly watching your miles, how you're driving, letting go when you think you can, picking up speed, and it's actually kind of fun. Makes the drive a lot faster. But if you don't like that kind of stuff, then that's okay. Again, this is best if you drive long distances, preferably on a turnpike, a highway, anything that's like a freeway, high speeds. That's the best. Now, if you're in a city, I'm still learning how to kind of save miles on that. So if you know how to do that, let me know. Again, we started off with 492 or 93 miles, and now we're actually right back at that 493 miles. That's because you're constantly saving, you're getting the most out of your gas. So, and it really does, those numbers are accurate, because again, I literally was using Eco Pro mode all week, and it has lasted me about 450 miles, because I did fill up at around 30. So it definitely does work, you know. And again, it does not help the people who are leasing a car and not trying to use these miles right here, because that is completely different. Those miles you can't stop. by driving in eco mode. Those are just the miles that your car has driven. That's it. I'm talking about the gas part, which is right on the bottom left. So I am on a hill. So there we go. So, but I will restart the video once I get back on the city road with traffic lights and all that good stuff. All right. Just to quickly show, I'm actually at 502 miles. I am more from where I started. So keeping it above that 26.4, even if it's just a little bit, goes a long way. You get to learn the roads that you go, the hills that you take, the slopes. Obviously, when you know there's a slope and then there's a hill, during the slope going down, you can kind of raise your speed a little bit more so that when you're on the hill, you're not going past that 26.4. So that all adds up. I'm about to leave the Turnpike in a little bit, and I'm going to hit the local road soon. I just wanted to show you guys this because that is pretty cool. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there that I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about this. I'm strictly speaking from experience. What I noticed, I am I don't specialize in cars, or I'm just giving you guys advice or something that you can follow if you'd like to try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine. I like the way it works for me, so I wanted to share that because I think that's pretty cool. So just remember keeping it above that 26.4. So even if it's just for a little bit, it doesn't have to be like this all the time, or 50, where it says 50 right there. It doesn't have to be like that all the time. So all right, see you in the next part. So I couldn't really show you guys as I was driving in the city part because I had to take a detour, so I had to kind of see where I was going, so I couldn't record because I had to use my maps as well. So this is the final result. So I think the last number that we had when we left off was, I think, 505 or something like that. So I'll tell you right now, it does not take 9 miles to get from the Turnpike to my destination. So as you can see, it does waste more miles when you're driving in the city part with, but I'll tell you, this is actually not bad. It usually is a little more. Plus I do have my AC running pretty high, so that is an addition. But just to show you guys, I got here, we're 52 miles here. Let me pull up the screen. So we're now 54.32. I believe we were 53.79. So clearly that's about 89, 89, 09, 19, 29. So basically 54 miles. So we actually gained 3 miles out of this trip because we started off with, I believe, 492 or 493 miles. So that is how you do it. I know some stuff was a little unclear. I'll try to make another video to show and actually just show kind of the traffic, because I kind of was just focused on the odometers and things like that. So next time I'll kind of just bring my screen up. It's just very hard to do when I'm driving because it's on very high speed, and there are cops on the Turnpike, so I don't want to get in trouble. I need to get a nice setup for recording while I'm driving because that was a little uncomfortable at times. But this is our final destination, and this is our ending mileage. So try it out, let me know what you guys think, and that's all. Have a blessed day.